Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christy with Van Ahn & Company. It's Wednesday, September 21st. I'm going to go over the markets with you for the day. It looks like you're kind of just trading all over the place, especially in soybeans, as you're really starting to trade weather at this point. So you've built slowly but surely some weather premium into these soybeans, as it looks like a lot of areas are going to get hit with rain over the next 5 days. And really those rain totals are actually quite large. And then the extended forecasts are looking like you have above average chance for rain. But what you're seeing is, some of them back off that forecast as far as getting a couple areas of some patterns to dry out in between those rains. And with that, you really took some of that weather premium today away from soybean, closing down about 14 cents on the day, trading lower by about 17.5 at one point. As it's really hard to keep it together for a weather story when it's pertaining to too much moisture. So you really have to continue to get them back to back to back. It seems like areas are still being able to harvest like they should, especially in the southern areas of the Corn Belt, southern Iowa, southern parts of Illinois, Indiana. You're also having some yield announcements here as you're starting to roll through harvest, and they are quite large, especially into the soybeans. So, you're starting to think there would be a couple pockets of having some problems, but overall, extremely high yield numbers that are having people start to question if you'll see once again a yield increase come out of USDA on their next report here for soybeans, as they really bumped it up. You're over 2 bushel per acre above the record yield for the US right now, and people are saying that you could even see it a little bit higher. So that's where the pressure is coming in on soybeans now. There's a lot of harvest left, and the rain is still around, so you're probably going to see some choppy trade here for a while. Impressive though was corn being able to hold its own when you had beans much lower, actually closing only down 1/2 cent on the day, and the wheat actually able to rally up about 1 to 3 cents there. Over in the meat markets, higher trade for both live cattle, feeder cattle. Almost looked like you were seeing some spread between cattle and hogs, as hogs were about 65 to 85 cents lower. Lean or live cattle, feeder cattle, both a dollar higher, so some strength come through there. Then those outside markets drastically changed throughout the day as you came in here and had Federal Reserve announce that they are not going to increase interest rates. You started to have some people question whether or not they would do that here. People were expecting it to come into December, that they would come in here and increase them, but what you had was some really great economic news over the last 2 weeks to a month time frame, and so people started to question whether it would happen sooner rather than later. And what you did was have a vote 7 against a rate increase, 3 for a rate increase. So it's slowly starting to get to the point where they will be on board for a rate increase, but for now it did not happen, and you had that dollar trade from being higher on the day to being down about 50 cents. So big movers into those outside markets. What we'll be watching for coming forward will be just the rain totals over these storms. A lot of the areas are getting hit over the weekend, so Monday's trade will be a big one. I do have to close with a disclaimer: trading in futures and options involves risk loss and may not be suitable for all producers. Have a great day.